So this is my Bogen 3025 3D tripod head, and I've had this thing for a long time. I've actually got two of them, and I thought I'd show this and another one that I just another tripod head similar to this that I just bought off of eBay, and I'm doing some changing of where I'm putting these. So I thought in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I would show these. Now this is no longer made. You cannot get this anymore from Bogan. And this one I use exclusively on a monopod. The other one I'll switch around on different tripods depending on the need of what I'm doing. Now this is the Bogen 3028 Super 3D head, and I just bought this off of eBay, and it is in pristine condition, just beautiful condition. And I wanted another one. I happened to see this, great price, and it's got these nice handles here. So we'll take a look at both of these and see what the differences are. So here's the 3025, and this is a nice small tripod head. It's sturdy, never had an issue with it holding anything that I've ever had on it. It's compact, and you can see I've got these loosened, and then you can rotate this down here. And I've always liked this when I'm using a smaller setup on my cameras and I don't want to take a heavy head and I want a smaller tripod. This one here works. Now, I'm not sure what version this is, but they have had earlier versions, or various versions, should I say. Some that actually had those lever arms that you saw, like this. Some also had the cork. I think the cork was on the earliest versions, I believe, and then they came to the like rubberized surfaces that they have here. But so I don't know. I've had this a long time, so don't even remember when I bought it. But like I said, this came in more than just the version that you're seeing right here. Now this says 3025. I believe they had other numbers designated after the 3025 to show the different stages or the different versions as they changed throughout the years. So, and then I don't know how many different versions they had either. Now if we look at the base of this, this has your 3/8 16 fitting, and this was always used on a monopod exclusively, so you don't see any points on here where the set screws, because when you put this on a tripod, then you need something to keep this from rotating off, unscrewing, and they generally have three, every 120 degrees they'll have a set screw. You'll tighten that down and you'll see the marks on there, but this has always been on my monopod. So that's what the mounting surfaces look like to your tripod. Here's where your camera would attach. The nice rubber surfaces. I always liked these better than the cork, and I think this was probably the later versions. I'm almost sure of that. And then it had this somewhat T-slot in here to where you could position the camera on there. And then on the bottom, you'll see there it says Manfrotto, Italia. I was born in Italy actually, and was adopted to the United States. So anyways, and then once you screwed this on, there would always be a little bit of looseness, which is fine, because then what you would do is you would just turn this nut, and then that would act as a jam nut. So as you turned it, it would pull the camera body down onto the surface and snug it up for you. So that's why that's on there. Now the bearing surfaces are conical, as you see here, and I'll take it apart and show you, that offers 360 degrees of rotation. Here you see the conical bearing surfaces that they use for the rotation of the axes, and they have them lightly greased. There you see the female area, the male area here. Very simple. In case you're wondering what the thread is on those knobs, it's an M8 by 0.125 pitch. What I'm going to do then is add this Arca Clamp to this Bogen 3025 so that I no longer have to keep attaching the camera all the time with the screw. I can use this clamp with an Arca base. Here you see it on the 3025, and what I elected to do was put it on this way with the locking knob back here, because normally what I will do is put my camera on here with the lens facing opposite the locking knob, and it will still give me plenty of up, horizontal, and down. Now if I need more down than what you see here, then all I have to do is put the camera with the lens facing this direction, and now I've got plenty of down if I need it. So I thought this would be the most practical way of attaching that Arca clamp. But as I stated, since this will be dedicated just to my one big Bogen monopod that I have, a larger one, the only thing I'll ever do, normally, this would be just fine, because normally all you need to do is adjust the tilt a little bit, and then you just move the monopod back and forth like this, you know, so most of the time you don't even have to adjust this at all. Here you see the 3025 that I keep dedicated to my large Bogen monopod. Now I don't even know, I've had this thing a long time and I don't know what the number is. There's no engraving or sticker on here that tells me what model monopod this is, but it's very stout and been an excellent monopod. Here you see how with the 3025 attached to the monopod, you simply just screws on and tighten it down. So one of the biggest differences here with the 3028 Super 3D head that I just got off of eBay versus the 3025 is in this particular one, and I don't know if later versions were smaller, but you notice that the camera base is much bigger. It's cork, and instead of those knobs that you see down here on all three axes, two of these, you have these nice clamps, which I really like. Gives you a lot of leverage if you're going to put something a little bit bigger, whatever. They pull out, so they're spring loaded. So if you need, once you tighten it and you want this in a different position, you're not relegated to just wherever it's at. You can put it wherever you want, and it locks in position. Really nice. Here's a close-up of that handle area. Pull out, release, and it locks in. as I stated, I bought this used and it is in just the absolute pristine condition. You can see where there's some marks here where on the tripod thing to lock it down, but this thing is in just spectacular condition. A very good find. Really happy with that. And I'm going to be doing the same thing to this 3028 as I did the 3025 by putting this Arca clamp and attaching it to it permanently. And so here you see the Arca clamp that I put on the 3028, and I put it in the same position that I did with the 3025 for the same reasons that I did that. So there you are. Very happy with the 3025, the 3028. No different basically than the 3025. I'll be very happy with it. Got them all ready to go now with the Arca standard that I'm using for the base plates on all my cameras. And so just thought I would show these in case anybody might want to buy any of these used on the used market. That's what they look like.